And it seems we are live. So, thanks so much for joining me here on my second attempt trying to play Hadrian's Wall live on camera. Yeah, really appreciate you being here with me. Apologies for the last time, and honestly, I have no clue if this time of the week, time of the day does work for some of you. It's a Sunday evening here. I think it's kind of noonish for some of my friends on the East Coast. And yeah, I think for the West Coast, don't even think about it. So really appreciate that you are here with me playing Hadrian's Wall. Right now it seems attendance, is going up and down. I hope we're really getting there. And again, keep me honest here if I should do these kind of live streams on a Sunday, or if you think it's better somewhere in the week or so, just let me know. Yeah, but today it's Hadrian's Wall, and yeah, really a game I had on my radar for quite some time. When I saw very early, I don't know, typical screenshots or snippets or images on the Geek, I was intrigued by, the artwork was okay. I'm not really that big fan of a flip and write, but every now and then I do tend to enjoy those. The Cartographer, for example, is definitely an amazing game. And here I really liked the theme, of course, so that's something I typically do enjoy. But I also like the interconnected pieces, all of these things. When you first start to play this game, it's really a lot. It's a lot to take in, and I really haven't played this game an awful lot of time. And I only played it solo, because that's the one caveat I see with the game. I'm not 100% sure. Hey Julian! Awesome! Hey, awesome! Great that you joined in. Phalantalis, you are here. Cool! Cool. Awesome. No, that's really appreciated that you're with me here. And there is still an awful delay between my live stream here and what you see on the screen here. Apologies for that. I really took out everything in respect to delays and whatnot. So I think that's as much live as I can get, actually. But great that you're here with me. And yeah, Julian, really looking forward to your next game, actually. So definitely intrigued by that. Keep it coming. And yeah, so what I was going to say is, not sure how this game would really work in a multiplayer fashion, actually, because there is not really a ton of interactivity between the players. Yes, in theory you can trade some of those goods, trade quote unquote, but apart from that, everyone is doing their stuff on their own, and you really don't want to micromanage the other players. So you really have to trust that they know what they're doing. And not sure how this works, but that's something I believe I have seen on the Geek 2s. I think a lot of folks love this game, and I really like it too. Love would be a little bit exaggerated at this point in time, but I really do like it. Maybe I will start to love it at some point in time, but again, there were some asks or demands for more player interaction in this game. A little bit more than just, I don't know, I take a resource or a trade good from your card and give you a soldier for that, for example. So, but again, apart from that, maybe I should try it. Maybe it's still a lot of fun. I think you can play this up to 6 players even, but because you are really doing all of this stuff more or less simultaneously, I think it doesn't really matter too much. Yes, someone could take longer than the others, but you're not really necessarily waiting for the other players to do something to happen. Yeah, with this being said, I'm the blue player, and I guess the chat doesn't really work, so let me try that again. I just noticed that I have a chat window, but the chat doesn't work. Amazing. Let's do that again. Yeah, maybe today we have to skip the chat. Let me remove it and let me add it. I mean, it might be more fun when we add some more chats to that. Okay, sorry for that. I have to do this now. Basically live surgery, and this time tells me I have to do this basically live. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, it's connected. What does it mean? Is it connected? It is connected. Hooray! Yeah, so now we are also live with the chat. So sorry for that again. I'm learning as I go. As you know, I'm still pretty new to this whole thing about live streams and whatnot. And Julian, Raja's Dice is very fun. I like really the, let's call it the original game, Rajas of the Ganges, which is really a very brainy, burny kind of game, but definitely enjoyable. But I hadn't really had a deeper look into the dice game. So maybe if you say it's good, then I will definitely believe me. And I think for now, let's also remove those executive producers. I think you should know who they are by now. Yeah, so I think with that being said, let's get started. Again, I'm the blue player, but doesn't really matter at all. We all have the same deck of cards up here. And we are playing this game over a series of, I think, 6 years is the term. Well, it's 6 rounds in the end. I get to choose when I want to end the round. Either I don't have any more resources and or little meeples, so civilians, servants, soldiers, or builders, or no, I think stones, resources. Then in typically you call it a day. You can always take goods into the next year, or resources or workers or whatnot. But yeah, typically you're really trying to maximize that as much as possible. So let's maybe make some more room in here. I have my little bowls with all the little meeples. But yeah, with that being said, let's get started. The first thing that we are typically doing is to reveal a fate card, and that's what I'm doing. And the fate card tells you a lot of stuff, and this is something I really absolutely like in games, having multifunctional cards. And that's the same here. So they are pretty much a randomizer. They tell you how strong your enemy is when it comes down to gladiator fights. Here are some trade goods. These are the resources, as I said, that you get at the start of a round. Here is something that happens at the end of a year. Basically, the pigs attack you, and typically not one. So again, something I really do like. But for now, we will simply start this year with 2 soldiers. These are the builders, I believe. These are the servants, and there is a nice section in the rules explaining what servants, quote unquote, really are. I definitely like the explanation, appreciate it. And we also get 1 measly resource out of this. So that's pretty much what we have for this year. And then we are pretty much discarding this fate card. But the good thing is we are also adding 2 cards from our hand. And this is again a deck of 12 cards exact. So you will see all the cards in a given game of Hadrian's Wall. Hey Mike. Okay, the sound is low for me. Okay, let me know if you guys think the same. I can maybe try to boost it up a little bit. I definitely do appreciate the... Yeah, we can maybe pump it up a little bit. But let me know what you think. Or if it's okay, or if it's really fatally low, then yeah, I have to really think about something. And that's really the point. I do agree, I'm not particularly happy with my microphone setup here. Normally I'm using a much better microphone, but this doesn't, for whatever reason, work properly with my streaming equipment. So I have to use my normal microphone here, which is from a quality okay, but I don't know. It really acts very strangely. But thanks again for your comment, Mike. Do appreciate it. So yeah, these are the 2 cards from our deck. And again, I have to make, that's the first choice of the game. First of all, we will decide one of the cards to pretty much put aside. I'm not sure what they refer to, but that's what we basically put aside, and then we would gain the appropriate resources. So let's say we put this card aside, then we would gain 2 more resources, and that may be a good thing. Hey Hans, awesome. Oh, that's so cool that you're joining too. Oh, really appreciate it. It does seem to be a good time to do these kind of live streams. Really seeing a lot of awesome names here. Wow, cool. Much louder. Awesome. Okay, then I will remember that setting. Thanks. And if I go for this card to set aside, I get 2 more servants. But honestly, I think getting more resources might be key for this year. The other decision on these cards, let's say if I would decide to go for this card to put aside, it would mean that I put this card, the Pontiff, to my path, I believe. So that's generating an end of game scoring opportunity for me. So in this case, I want to start completing temples on my board, and that's something I believe I've never really looked into in my previous games. I really didn't pay a lot attention to those temples actually, but still, it's getting those resources is something it's really, I only have one stone and that's kind of lame, and I do have servants. And then, yeah, these I think are not so critical. This is for the scout action later on, which then allows me to, yeah, also more or less get more, yeah, scouts out on the board, and this will then also unlock some stuff and also will give me some victory points. So I guess I have still talked my way into this. So let's make that accordingly. So we said that we are putting the Pontiff under our path, and you don't really need to see this all the time. I think that's fair enough. Let's leave it here. I could slide it down just a hair, but I think you should get the idea. Then we are basically putting this card aside. It's not really out of the game yet, and in a multiplayer game someone else could go for this one here. But only the other players, for example, for this trade good here. But I wanted to have those resources. I think that was the idea. Let's put this aside. Let's also put this aside. And then, as we are playing solo, we will go back to, again, to the card area. And then we are taking a deck from a neutral player and also bring out 2 cards. And those 2 cards are now, for me, if I want to either take a scout action, which one of those patterns here, not really great, but yeah, it is what it is, or if I want to trade those resources on my market action. Not 100% sure if this is something I will do as of year 1, but getting those trade goods, I believe they're referred to, yeah, trade goods exactly, can be pretty helpful in respect to additional let's see, let me move over here again to the main camera here. So we will put in those trade goods into this area here on the board, and I think I might be able to zoom in a little bit more on this section here. And here we want a different kind of trade goods. And again, if we are checking those, this is a trade good with a number 2, this is a trade good with a number 1. The symbols do not mean anything. It's basically the number. That's what we are looking for. The problem is, if I go there and trade with the Vanguard or the players, or pretty much with the red player in this case, it means I would have to draw more fate cards towards the end of the end of the round, which means more picks will come to attack me, and this can be pretty brutal, especially during round 1, where I have pretty much 0 defenses here on my cohort. I have the left cohort, the center cohort, and the right cohort. So not sure if I really want to do that. And in order to trade here, I also have to start populating my market here. So I have to have at least 4 stages here of this market board filled in order to unlock the market first, and only then will I be able to start trading with another player. In this case, that's again the neutral player here on the left hand side. At the end of the round, these cards get discarded, and if there are no resources from me on there, then nothing would happen. That's really something I found, and I'm not trying to say it's not useful, but it's challenging. Towards the end of the game, when you start to understand how strong are my defenses, maybe I do have some diplomats by then, would also be able to help me towards those attacks, then yes, maybe something worth considering. But really doing round 1 or maybe even round 2, something that's tricky. But of course there might be cracks out there who know this game much better than I do. So yeah, of course, go for it. That's totally something that you should do during year 1. Is it available in German and English? Yeah, I think right now it's only available in English in Germany. Personally, I do not really care too much, because in the end it's the rules, and then some icons here and some stuff. Yeah, there's some things here, but right now I really got it from one of the usual suspects. Definitely not the big one, but one of the smaller shops on the net where I got this for a decent price. So yeah, it is definitely available here. Okay, I think with that being said, and again, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the game, but I will definitely walk you through most of the stuff. I'm not sure if I will be able to really do an, let's say, kind of a rules explanation on the front end. To some extent, some of the things you have to explain, because again, everything is interconnected here in between those. So for example, let's take this track here on the left hand side, which is pretty much your, let's call it defenses, and where you build your I don't know, structures out and so on. So you can definitely start going for this mining and foresting track without any problems, for example. There are no things here. The same is true for the wall guard. You can place out any number of wall guards as you see fit. For the city, for the wall and the fort, this stuff really belongs together. And these forts here, now the granary again is dependent, or the fort is dependent on the granary here. So in order to move past this block here, you have to start unlocking the medium granary. And the same one is true here for the large granary. And these kind of dependencies you will stumble upon this game a lot, really a lot. And now as I'm playing this live, I'm really 100% sure that I will miss a lot of opportunities. There's really nothing in respect to an AI of some sort, so you're basically trying to score points. That's what it is, and something that's usually something I don't really enjoy. I want some actual challenge. I want to have the feeling, yes, I have won or I have lost, but we have these here. We have the Miles, we have the Centurion, we have the Primus Pilus, Prefectus Castrorum. So basically you want to get to 70 or plus points. Don't even consider this for this playthrough here today. This is not high level play, what you will see here. That's pretty amateur stuff. Hey Doug, awesome. Hey, so cool that you are here. Wow, Doug is also a very amazing YouTuber, by the way. You definitely need to check out his channel. Really great that you're joining me here. Awesome. Yeah, so I think I would already consider this a win if I would make it here to the Centurion, for example. That's nothing to do with Battlestar Galactica, by the way. Ha 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 ha. Greatest game out there. Yeah, so that's basically what we are trying to achieve, getting to whatever 50 points or so. That's the idea. And the majority of your points will come through these tracks down here. So we have the Renown, the Piety, the Valor, and the Discipline. And each box that you're ticking here is pretty much a victory point. Easy as that. And then, yeah, you will definitely also get some points from these path cards here, but they are not really high scoring. I mean, here, if I will be able to fill 3 temples, I will score 3 points for that. But by the end of the game, I will have 6 of those cards, and not all of those I will be able to score. Pretty sure about that. And yeah, then we may lose some points by disdain, which is something that you don't want to have. And this is this box down here. So every time you're not fully able to fend off a picked attack, you will pretty much circle one of those things. And depending on how much you have at the end of the game, you can see that 9+, it's 22 points which you're losing. And yeah, that's definitely a big deal. Okay, let's really get cracking now. So again, I have those 2 servants. I have some resources now because I chose the proper cards. I have a builder. I have soldiers. These are black. Hopefully you will be able to see that on my thing. This doesn't look good. Let me put these soldiers, the soldiers maybe in here. Something like this. So hopefully you can see them better now. The rest should be okay, I guess. And now it's really, there are no turns whatsoever. You will simply start filling out those things. And again, in most cases, things are pretty easy. So let's say you want to come or advance on this mining and foresting track. And I think one thing I already forgot. I think I should get 1 more stone. Exactly, I forgot that. That's something that happens when you take your card. You check your resource production thing. And as this first circle is already filled, we will start the game with 1 extra resource. Okay, that's important. That's important. But again, if you want to progress here, we need to give up servants. Easy as that. If we want to, oops, this was the screensaver. If we want to advance here on the wall guard, then we can either spend weapon symbols, and you get those weapon symbols, for example, here. So you can trade in a builder for building training crowds, and this would give you then 1 sword, and this sword could then be translated into 1 box. Here you simply exhaust one of your, or give away one of your soldiers. The Sippy again is a stone. Here you have a wall and these kind of things. But again, you cannot build the Sippy or the wall here before we have filled this box down here. You see those change symbols here, and these are going up. So in order to build either of those, we have to start here with a first level fort, and that's typically something which may not be a bad idea. Actually, really getting in there. Depends a little bit on which cards you will then later get, but that's something you can prepare. I know, for example, there is a card that gives you points for completed fort sections here. So that's something which I can start working towards. Of course, if I then have to make a choice between those 2 cards and I have to take the resources and not take it for the scoring, that joke is on me. So what are we going to do? Yeah, I think bumping up our resource production could be pretty key, and I think that's what we need to do actually. Do I need to do anything? I think resources is really key. So we are spending 1 of our servants, and yeah, I laminated those things. This box is extremely heavy, and it comes with 2 basically pages here, and this box is only filled, or I think 80% of the box is filled with these tracking cheats here, and I laminated those. So I still have 199 in there, because that's the first thing I did, laminated this and using these dry erase thingies here. Okay, so I have spent 1 of my things. I could go for the bigger one. Actually, I have it for this. So that's already done. So we have done our first action. Again, there are no turns, so everyone is doing this simultaneously. Even if I would play this with 4 other folks, they would still do the same thing pretty much simultaneously. If they would trade with me, they would give me something or so, but that's not going to happen here in my solo playthrough. I think let's do that again. So we are now filling in this, which means we are getting a hammer and we are getting a resource. This resource we are simply getting from the supply and putting it next here. The hammer is something that we are starting to fill down here, and I really hope you can see that. Actually, maybe I can zoom in a little bit. So for the hammer we are filling in this, which means as at the start of the next year we will get 2 stones. Hooray, that's amazing. So we have made some progress here. And I guess then, yeah, we want to definitely start building our cohorts. That's extremely important. And every time you see this shield symbol here, this means you can then choose 1 of the cohorts to fill out. And ideally you get to the max, because here these later ones, they simply give you victory points here on those, I think politic tracks or whatever they're not, or civil, I don't know, these tracks here. These are the victory points in the end. So I guess we want to give away 1 soldier for now. So this gives us 1 shield, and this is now something we get to choose if we want to assign this to the left, center or right cohort. And again, there is a randomizer. As I mentioned, these cards here come with some randomization. And this tells us, okay, the Picts are attacking right, center or left. The only information I have now, and I think they are evenly distributed in the deck. I haven't checked it, but I believe that's the case. So the only piece of information is that we already have used 1 of those fate cards for the right cohort. So there is a slightly less chance that another right wing attack comes out, or the right cohort attack comes from the Picts. And that's the only piece of information which I do have right now. So I guess, yeah, we are either putting it left or center, and here it doesn't really matter too much. So let's simply put, again, we have given away 1 soldier, this gives us a shield, and let's simply put that cohort in here. So we have now 1 box of defense from the Picts at the end of this year, and this will never go away. That's the good piece. So whatever we have here, we will have until the end of the game. Okay, we still have a lot to do actually. We still have some resources here. I have more than I was thinking, and I guess we have to now expend either a builder or another soldier here to start building the fort, because with the fort we can then also start building the city and the wall, which then also might give us at some point in time also some more defenses for our cohorts. The question now is, do we want the builder or do we want to give away the soldier for that? The soldier or the builder we could here use on the training grounds. We can do that only once per year. That's what it says, maximum 1 training per year. We can in theory also use them later on here on those. So this is already a problem. So I have to see if I will be able to get another servant. But I think I should be able to get that. So I guess we are going for another soldier now, and we are filling out this one. This doesn't give us anything, unfortunately, other than pretty much unlocking this first stage here. So now we have done this one, which means we have the prerequisite for the medium granary, which we then later on use to extend this. So in order to build into this fort, we first have to do this medium granary here. In order to build the medium granary, we have to give away a builder, a servant, and 1 resource. Okay, but that's at least something that we can start using or extending the wall and the city. And I think that's what I want to do. Let's start with 1 resource and go for the wall. And this gives us one of those, I think these are civilians. Exactly, these are civilians. So we have some civilians which we typically need for the right hand board. For most of those tracks here, as you can see, we need civilian meeples, and we have quite a few actually, and that's definitely helpful, will come in handy. Let's spend another stone to also do the city. And that's as far as we can go on the city and the wall, because again our fort right now is a very basic fort, so we cannot extend it any further. In order to progress here on the wall, we have to build 1, 2, 3 more fort sections, which would be, yeah, we simply don't have the, let's say, resources or the more meeples or workers or builders or servants or whatever you need. So we will not be able to do that this year, which is okay. The only question that we should ask ourselves somehow is if we will be able to get maybe another cohort. Having another center cohort may not sound like a bad idea, but in order to do that we need 2 more steps here and another soldier. The problem is I don't think we will get any soldiers anytime soon. We can get again 1 sword here by giving away 1 of our builders, so that's a possibility. But I guess we have the temple, right? So we can start building the temple at some point in time. So let's do that, right? And this would also give us another servant. So yeah, so next we will give away 1 civilian. We are circling in the first level of the priest. We are transforming this into a servant, which we then can use for some of the other things. And again, I have no clue if this is any fun to watch. It could be something like watching someone filling out an Excel form. I don't know. It's really highly enjoyable thinking about this, but I'm not sure if it's any fun to watch. So definitely let me know if you like it or not. Okay, so this was this. We have received 1 servant. So in theory, yeah, for the small hotel here on the left hand side, we would need a stage 2 on the fort, and then we would need to spend a builder and a servant and a stone to get pretty much 1 more production. This would generate us 1 more civilian each year, and getting those things out relatively early is key, and I'm not really good at that. So what are we going to do with our builder here? Now I really have to start thinking, and feel free to chime in. Absolutely, let me know what you think, what I should be doing. I definitely need all the help I can get here. We still have a lot of civilians though, and I guess sooner or later we should start moving towards this one here, because this could give us some victory points here. Again, we could trade here. Again, trading is not, yeah, it's relatively dangerous again as we are adding more cards typically, but it can definitely help. I guess, and should we go for the temple here? Because in order to build the small temple, no, we have everything we need to build the small temple actually. Yes, we do, because we have one stage here for the priests. And I think we should be able to do that. Then we have the gardens, but the gardens do not help us right now. I think we want the temples. Let's do that. So we are spending the builder and the servant and one stone or one resource here in order to build this. This is a symbol here for, I think that's piety, which means we have just earned ourselves our first victory point by doing this. And this is really going back and forth because you are filling in those sheets, and that's really crazy. But really, when you start playing it, I think after 1, 2, 3 years, things are pretty clear at some point in time. But I can understand if you're completely lost. I don't know. And again, I have no clue if it's any fun to watch. And okay, we are down to 2 of those civilians, and we have 2 stones or resources. I really quickly have to check with the temple here actually if that gray meeple is, if that is any kind of thing. Any worker, yeah, it's any worker. White is any worker here. So in theory, we could now give away 1 worker to build the small temple, or getting this reward here. The temple is now built. That's what we have done here. That much is clear. And no, filled temples. Oh, it needs to be filled temples actually. Yep. It seems filled temples. Oof, that's quite a lot then actually. But that's only 1 worker, and for 1 worker, we would get this, and we would gain a favor. And again, these favors can help us with the picks later on. So the more I think about it, the better. So we are spending any 1 meeple to do this. We are doing this, which means we have 1 favor, which we can use in case of a picked attack. And we will get this one here, which is another piety. And the piety here, again, all what these are, or majority what these are victory points. And of course, they will also help you unlock more workers and whatnot. So it's really an endless chain of things that are happening here. I'm not sure. I think, no, that's okay. You should be able to see that. That's totally fine. Okay, what next? We have 2 more resources, 1 more meeple. With a stone alone, there is not an awful lot we can do, I believe. Yes, we could go, no, the city is gone, the wall is gone. That's something, maybe we want to keep it for the rest of the year. But we may want to use our civilian here, so we could go for another track. So in theory, we could start working towards more temples here. Because we have filled this temple now. That's 1 victory point too at the end of the game because of our pontiff up there. So that's helpful, but we also need more stuff. The patricians are pretty cool because we need the patricians later on to scout, for example, or we can also send diplomats out. Extremely helpful too. Again, the trader, the performers are also nice. I think let's do the performers actually. Yeah, let's do the performers. I think that's a cool thing. So we are spending this one here to unlock the first stage of the performers, and this unlocks us 1 builder. So we basically exchanged 1, but that's helpful. And in theory, we could then start working towards the theater. The problem is I don't have another servant. So that's a problem. Do I get another servant somewhere through my... Yeah, that's a good point, Doug. Yes, you can spend everything, but you can take everything over to the next year. And I'm pretty sure I might end up in that situation now, that I'm not able to do anything really meaningful with it. I think, again, the builder we could send to the training grounds. The stones, the resources here, that's something I believe I may not be able to leverage this year anymore, unless I'm not seeing something correctly. No, I think we are out. So I guess that's what we are going to do. We are spending this builder, and now I need a smaller pen, and we have, every time you see this little symbol here, you're putting in the number of the year, because again you can only do that once a year, and this then gives you one sword, and the sword we are going to spend on our wall or guard track. So here's the symbol for the sword, and this given us a victory point on our discipline track here. So in total we already have scored 3 victory points. Isn't that lovely? Yes, we are making an awful lot of progress. Maybe to buy list for Spiel. Yeah, let's do that. Sounds like a good deal. And again, I'm not sure if this game is any fun actually with multiplayer experience, because everyone is doing their stuff, and then yeah, it's at the end of the year you're checking each other out. Okay, what have you done? What have I done? And then whatever. After 6 years, you're comparing your score, and then I don't know. But solo, it's really fun. It's really fun and enjoyable. It's a nice puzzler here, but it's also brutal. So we have 2 more resources, and I guess right now there's nothing else we can really do. I would love to go for this space here, because this would unlock the traders. The problem, in order to do that, I would have to do I would need a servant and a builder, and I don't have those. And that's, I guess, the learning curve in this game, where I'm pretty sure there are some very steep strategies where you're saying, hey, that's your performance strategy, that's your market strategy, or your trader strategy. I have no strategy whatsoever. I'm simply playing this completely tactical now for you here on camera. So there's definitely a risk here now in respect to the center cohort, and also the right cohort actually. But we have pretty much reached the end of the year, so I'm announcing the end of the year. And now we are checking the track up here. As we are in year 1, and we are playing, I maybe should have mentioned this, we are playing on the easy difficulty level here, the green one. It means we are drawing 1 of those fate cards here, and this is pretty much our picked attack. So this was the card that we have used. We have not used the red player's card, so we can discard those 2. So let's look at those fate cards, and bam, they are hitting us at the center location. And if you remember correctly, we have strengthened our left cohort, but we have nothing here on the center cohort, which means these guys are hitting us here. We have 0 defenses, and if I'm not doing anything against that, I'm now getting 1 disdain down here. 1 disdain is 1 victory point we are losing at the end of the game. Second disdain is 3. The cool thing is there are later on ways to bribe your population. Then you can pretty much fill your disdain, and then they're no longer counting against you. AJ, Deutsche Garten is next big Euro hit. There you are. Yeah, I know you are the biggest Euro game fan out there, AJ. So yeah, definitely something for you here. And there is some gardening here. Well, there is some nature at least to watch. The thing is, I do have a favor from my small temple, and I could in theory now spend this favor to entirely cancel this card down here. And honestly, I don't see why not, because in the end it's a victory point I'm losing, and again the next stage is already 3 victory points, and then I would have to start working towards the Apaturaris, pretty much the bath, and then I could gain this thumb up here, and the thumb up then would allow me down here to fill out these circles, and they're no longer counting against me. So that's something I could do, and I guess why not? Let's do that. So we are using our favor from the gods, from the temple here, in order to completely cancel this card, and this goes out, and that's pretty much the end of the year. Next year we will already see 2 fate cards, 3 fate cards, 4 fate cards, 6 and 8 fate cards. If you're playing on the easy difficulty level. On red, it's entirely crazy. I tell you. Okay, so what next? We are basically going into the next year. Which means, let's see, we are drawing one more fate card, and this fate card is working in our favor. So again, we are getting the resources that are printed on here. So that's 2 soldiers, 1 builder, only 1 servant. You must be kidding me. 2 of those civilians, but at least 2 more resources. And if you remember correctly, I think I can even zoom down here a little bit. We have 2 of these circles filled in, which means we are getting 2 more stones for those. So yeah, we do have some resources now for this year. It's not done yet, as you know, because we are still drawing 2 more cards from our deck. Oh, let's quickly do that. So we have the planner here. And we have the trainer. Again, we have to make a choice. Do we want this or do we want this? And we have a lot of resources now, so I'm tempted to go for this one here, which would give us 1 servant and 1 more civilian. Then we would go for the total gladiator strength. So if we go for 4, that's... Oof. But that's something I do like, actually. So maybe let's put the trainer card underneath our little pathway here. So we want not just temples, we also want the gladiator trick, which we haven't started yet, but at least we are getting some more resources from this planner. And then we are going to reveal 2 more cards from the red neutral player. And again, these are simply for the numbers. Oh, the 6 is great because those higher numbers are pretty rare, actually. That's now tempting, but we do have to start filling out those cohorts here in order not to take too many hits. So the idea is really to somehow manage to get maybe at least 1 more tick each in those other cohorts here. But again, if we are checking the cards that we have seen, everyone is out here. Not sure if you can. I think you should be able. So we have a right, a middle, and a left one picked attack. So it's pretty much all open now. So whatever we do, it's pretty much a die roll. Okay. But I guess that's it, right? Yes. These are all my resources. I think I haven't forgotten anything. Yes, having the small hotel here would have given me another civilian. Having now the small workshop here would give me a builder each year. So having these is really crucial. And this one here would even give you victory points for the year. So really getting these, let's say, regular income is, yeah, crucial. So now we are back to square one again. What are we going to do and how we are dealing with that? Again, I'm somewhat tempted to go for the small granary. On the other hand, we may want to really start working towards the theater here, because again, this would give me a trader and would give me another servant. So I guess let's do that. Again, in order to build the theater, we need stage 1. We have that from the performers here on the performers track. That's this number here. Then we have to expend 1 builder, 1 servant, and 1 resource, right? It's resource. I keep forgetting. Yeah, resources, exactly. And this allows me to build the theater here. And the theater is a cool thing. It's another track. It's the renown track, so that's another victory point. So we're already at 4 victory points. So we are totally running away with the game here. Yeah, no, not really. And then one needs better than 20/20 vision to read the player board. It's really small. Even if you are sitting right in front of it like I do right now, it's small. It really is small. Let me tell you this. That much is clear. It's crazy small. Okay, so we have done this. Now we could now give a performance. You can do maximum 1 performance each year, and the theater track is built that way that in theory there are enough performances for the whole game. Obviously I already have missed 1 performance from year 1, but that's also not necessarily the end of the world. So I'm definitely spending 1 resource here. I need the smaller pen to put in the number 1, and this gives us 1, let's say, yeah, not really trade, it gives us a trader's tick, which means we are filling this track here, and this would give us a servant, which is really something that we needed. So in theory, yes, we have a lot of stone. We could keep going. Unfortunately, you can only do that once a year. And also you see, in order to go for the next performance, we have to boost our performance track here too. And that's also important for the gladiator. So in order to start training our gladiators here, we also need at least a stage 3 with our performance, or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and so on. So I think now also focusing on those performers might not be a bad idea as well. But I'm still very much concerned about our cohorts here. So I guess we want to build another cohort here. Do we get another sword somewhere? I don't see it right now. Actually, I think... yeah, no, not really, right? So we have to... yeah, let's spend 1 soldier to put another wall guard here. This gives us 1. And here it doesn't really matter, but I want definitely 1 tick in each of those cohorts. So we have now 1 tick in the left cohort and the center cohort. And again, they are not going away. So you're not spending those, you're not losing those. They're simply there to fend off the Picts. So everything that is here, you're typically not losing. That's also something I do enjoy, actually. For the next tick, yeah, we could start working towards, I mean, that's, in theory, we have the stone in order to extend the wall, but we also want to start working towards our temples, right? But in order to build the next level of temple, we need the priest track to advance. But also the performers. And the performers, they could also give us a hell of a lot of points, actually. Oh, these are now really these tricky decisions in this game. I cannot start building the market right now. That's a 4, actually. It's really tough to see even for me here. So we need 4 spaces in order to build the market. So I think that's not gonna happen. So I guess it's either bumping the theater any further for the next year to come. So the theater track here, which would give us another servant. And again, the servant would then be something to use here on the mining and foresting track. Also worth considering. Yeah, I don't really need that many stones right now. That's my point. Later on, yes, if you're really going for those buildings here, for the theaters, for the ludus gladiatores, for example, these are things where you need stuff. So I guess, yeah, let's go for the performer. So we are spending 2 civilians to do 1 and 2. So we have now reached level 3 here. We are getting 1 more servant back for that. We might be able to use that at some point in time. Now I think we have to continue maybe with a temple track just to prepare something for the next year. We cannot go for the gladiators here. We have the stone, we are lacking 1 builder. Do we get a builder somewhere? Maybe, yeah, we would get a builder here by spending 1 here. And we don't, I think that might be a good idea to really start preparing for the ludus gladiatorus. Are you not entertained? Let's do that. Let's do that. So we are spending our last civilian to go to these, basically for the bathhouses here. And I really only do that to exchange this into a builder. There's another action which you can take down here, but there you have to spend 2 workers for any other worker. So also not great. And now I think we have enough to build the ludus gladiatorus. So we need 1, we need 2, and we need 2 resources, right? Which means we are getting 1 more renown down here, which means we are already at 5 points. Yeah, that's really something. We are getting there. We are getting there sooner or later. And then next, yeah, we still have a soldier actually, and we have another civilian. We could start training our gladiator now, and that's something I'm considering now. Let's do that actually. So we are training our gladiator, and you can go for the red or the blue gladiator. Doesn't really make that big of a difference right now. But again, keep in mind, we do want, for the trainer here, we want a total gladiator strength at least 4 between those two in order to score at least a point. Which means we are now, yeah, 1/4 to the way to our first point for that. But there are more points to gain here from our gladiator. So in theory, I could now send them into a battle. And if I would lose this guy now, I would still gain 2 piety, which is also 2 more victory points. But of course, I could do both maybe and really start moving him towards here and then gain more points for winning, for example. So a little bit up to you, but right now, let's not go into a fight. And that's the one unclarity in the rules, actually, how those gladiator training and fights then work. So at any point basically during your turn, I could now say, okay, I want to have this guy fight someone. Then we would draw one of those gladiator card or fate cards here, and this would tell me how strong my opponent is. And he's a 2, I'm a 1, which means he would die right away. So we would at least gain something. I mean, that's still 2 piety, that's 2 more victory points, so not bad either. But okay, we are back here. We still have 2 more resources, and we do have 1 more soldier. The only thing with the soldier I think we have to continue with our fort now. Yeah, let's do that. So we are spending our soldier to complete, or not complete, to build our fort further, which means we have now in theory unlocked the second wall section, or the next wall section. I think, why not? Let's do that. Everything that we have right now we can do. And yeah, unfortunately now we are down to 1 resource, which means there's not really a lot that we can do. So I think that's pretty much round over. Oops, no, that's wrong. Sorry, we want to move in here. So those cards get discarded. We have not used those. We are drawing the fate card. And again, let's zoom in back here. We are in year 2, which means we are drawing 2 of those. So that's the first attack. That's the right. Again, we don't have any defenses there. I don't have any more favors, so we have to take that hit. And here we have the center one. This one we were able to block. And in theory, we would gain some victory points here. Some, I think it's the Valor, which we would get from this one here. No, I think that's good, actually. We will get a point. So we will get 1, what is it, disdain down here. No, let's take the smaller pen, actually, for this one here. But because we have fended off 1 of those, we will also gain a Valor for that. And that's, again, being shown by this symbol here. So the total maximum amount of damage or points that you can get through this year is a 2. So if I would have been able to fend off both attacks, then I would gain 2 Valor, but in this case I gained 1 disdain and I also gained a Valor. So it's pretty much a wash, but I will take it. Again, there might be a chance getting rid of those things through bribes later on. But those were the 2 attacks from this year, and I think with that being said, we can move directly into year 3 actually. So again, we will draw the next fate card. So these are the resources that we will get. I think Rome will simply get those. Oh, that's not bad. That's really not bad. So we are getting some workers now finally, and only 1 of those. That might be a problem. We are not getting any resources, but yeah, I think it's something I have to live with. Keep in mind, we still get 2 stone from our production track here, and then we are going to draw 2 of our cards, of course, and again we have to make a choice. So what resources do we want? So we can go for 1 soldier, then it means we would need the final disdain is maximum 4, 2 or 3. Or we could complete the cohorts, which is tricky too. But do I want more soldiers this year or more? I think I want to go for the soldiers actually. So I will go for the final disdain. So this will go onto my path here, and the fighter is the card which I'm simply using for another soldier. And then again we are revealing 2 more cards for the neutral player, and yeah, again something I have to start worrying about at some point in time. And then I guess we are going into year 3 now already. And these are my resources. I really didn't up my resource production yet, but that's really something, and maybe I really should focus a little bit more. But I also want to show you what's possible in this game and not really focus this now on the ideal play. But I don't have any idea what an ideal play would look like here actually. So what am I talking about? So I have no clue what I'm talking here. The thing is, I guess we want to go for another performance here. I think before we forget, let's spend that stone. We have 3 performers here, which means we are doing this. I think no, we did that in year 2 actually, and this is year 3, but it doesn't really matter too much. We didn't do a performance in year 1 actually, but we spent the stone, which means we are getting another soldier. That's pretty helpful, and we are getting 1 discipline. And again, discipline is simply yet another victory point down here. So that's 7 points from this track here. That's a start, but again, the target is somewhere at 50. Keep that in mind. But okay, we are getting there. We have at least unlocked some more resources here. I think that's definitely helpful. I think we want to continue with our fort now, because this would give us more. Yeah, let's do that. So we are spending 1 builder maybe. That's no question. Yeah, let's go for 1 builder and 1 soldier. We definitely want to continue with our fort. This gives us 1 more civilian. So that's definitely helpful. So in theory, if I would now spend 2 more stone, I would gain another civilian, 1 victory point, so renown, and 1 more cohort. And that's definitely helpful. I could also start extending the Sippy, but this doesn't give me anything right now. So let's slow down here. I guess we are going to train our gladiator next before I forget, and yeah, we will spend 1 servant for that. We are going for the blue gladiator now. That's the only one we can extend or further train right now, because again, our track is only a 3, the performance track here. Okay, so you guys are still with me. Awesome, good to know. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of resources now. Will I be able to build this one here? I think I should be able. Yeah, we will definitely extend the. We will build the small hotel. I think that's really key, getting more resources sooner than that. So we need 1 here, 1 builder, 1 servant, 1 resource. So this gives us this dot here. It immediately gives us 1 more civilian, and now at the end of the start of the next round, we will also get this production bump here, which means we are earning basically 1 civilian each year. So they're traveling, coming to our city, whatever. This is what happens. So I think these kind of things are important. Would we be able to go in his? We would need 3 more stone. The small workshop is also extremely useful, but we don't have the resources. I was a little bit cocky, telling everyone I had enough stone or resources, but now I'm pretty much out, right? So definitely something to consider. The problem now is, again, we have not really extended our cohorts, and this year we will see 3 picked cards hitting us. And even if we are extremely lucky, we get 1 left, we get 1 center, and maybe 1 right, for example, we would still gain 1 more disdain. So definitely also something to keep in mind. I guess we have to continue with our gladiator track, which means we are spending one more here, one more civilian to move us to stage 4. And again, stage 4 then unlocks the next training opportunities for our gladiators here. So if I would fill them both, we would have a total gladiator strength of 4 at least, and then yeah, we would score a point. Let me quickly check if that means they can be dead actually. Yeah, that's what it says. It does not matter if the gladiators survived or not. We just want some cool stuff. Brain burner puzzle, but fun to hear your strategy thoughts. I have no strategy. These are thoughts, really fuzzy thoughts. Trying to make sense out of this Excel mess here. But it's really enjoyable. It really is. Yeah, okay, what am I going to do next? The market. Here I would gain another soldier, but I have a lot of soldiers actually. But if I use those 3 soldiers now, I would gain, I think that's what I need to do actually. And there's nothing I could gain a sword for, right? No, let's spend the 3 soldiers now. It seems a bit wasteful actually, but I think we need more wall guards. So we are doing this, this gives us 1 more discipline, and this discipline gives us 1 more builder. We had 1 more, this is this, and obviously we have to extend the right cohort too. So at least we have 1 cohort on each of those frontiers, left, center and right. Yeah, wow, that's at least a starting point. And again, we are drawing 3 cards at the end of this round. Well, ideally we get left, center and right, but don't count on it. So what next? We have done our performance. We could continue to train now actually. I think that's maybe something to consider. We don't have, do we get stones somewhere? Maybe we could gain some more stones here from the patrician. Do we get to 3 stones somehow? Do we get to 3 stones? Here is 1. And I don't see it. Up here, that's not gonna happen. That's more production. Maybe we should, but now we should have really rushed that track, I guess. That's definitely something to consider. The small precinct could be nice because it gives us everything here, but we would gain a builder. That would give us a stone, but still not enough. Then we don't have, it's so bad. But then we have a lot of those. No, that's not gonna work. But I think I do want to also extend the traders track to some extent, or also the performers for more stages. No, let's do the performers once more. This gives us yet another soldier for that, and now we are at level 5 already, which means we could train all the way to this level here, which that's not nothing actually. We don't have the resources right now, but it's still worth considering. And I guess let's also do the patricians now. We want definitely some more patricians, so we are spending this. This gives us a stone. Unfortunately, it's not a 3rd stone. That's definitely a bummer. We could go for a sword here from the training crowns. And playing this live, I must be crazy. I really must be crazy. Maybe I should then start continuing here on the wall actually. Maybe that's also something. I mean, I get to, yeah, let's do that. Come on, let's do that. We will spend the stone here to do this. This gives us 1 more. We had spent another stone. This gives this. This gives us 1 renown, also another civilian, and we can also start filling in 1 more cohort. And again, I think I have seen more center cohorts, so I guess we are going, does it matter? Should we roll a die? I think center, we have seen a lot of center cards, fate cards already. So I guess let's simply go here. Let's start from the left and then work our way over. So that's already 4. That's definitely something. That's helpful. I really think that's helpful. And we still have a lot of meeples now, actually. That's quite good, actually. We could continue here with the builder or with a soldier, and then we could with this start building maybe this next year, which would also give us 1 more production. We also want to go to 4, and we need we don't have the stone now anymore. Oh, this is so bad. Yeah, okay, let's use this fella here, the servant, to train one of our gladiators. Again, it doesn't really matter too much which one, and again we get to choose if we want to fight or not. And keep in mind, for our goal, the trainer goal, it doesn't matter if these guys are dead or not. But again, if a gladiator is dead, we will no longer be able to train them. So that's then that. So that's why I'm taking it a little bit slow here. Maybe the next year we are going to see some actual fights, but we still have stuff to do. We have workers. What do we need for the temple here? I think we want to start working towards the temple. This could also give us some more points here. And the gardens, now we need level 4 for the gardens, but that's really extremely strong. Maybe that's something we should start working towards too, right? We need it too. So we are spending 2 of our civilians now to extend the priest track. This gives us 1 more servant back. And yeah, this means we can now going for the medium temple. We don't have the resources just yet. The gardens also not so much. We would need 1 more here, but we will get there. The gardens are really extremely powerful too. I think we need the gardens for sure. We have another soldier. We have another. Let's spend another meeple here to train the gladiator again, the blue one. So we have now 2 level 2. That's pretty much 1 victory point from that trainer card up here. Definitely take it. We have a soldier, we have a builder. The builder we could transform into a soldier or into a sword, which would then help us here with the wall guard, but I guess that's okay. We could continue with the fort twice actually. Is that something that we want to, because we have other things here to worry. We want the temples and whatnot, so maybe that's not our best bet. So we could simply stop here because there's nothing too meaningful to do with that soldier right now actually. Again, we could consider going for a fight now for one of those just to see, but again we need 8 strength for 2 victory points, and we still have 2 more to go. We have level 5 here on the performer, so maybe that's also not our best bet actually. So let's not do that either. So maybe let's stop here. Let's really stop here and take it to the next year. There's nothing really meaningful to do. Yeah, this, but we could use it next year too. No, we will stop, which means we are going to discard those cards here. We are drawing 3 fate cards now. So that's the first fate card. We have blocked that. Keep in mind, we have 1. Maybe let's do that here. So we have 1 here. We have fended this one off. The second fate card is a right one. Perfect. And the third card is also a right one. Damn it. So we have fended off 2, but we have taken 1 in. And I think I should show you this. Sorry, I messed this one up. Okay, but here you see it. 1 here, we blocked 1 here, but we didn't block the second one here on the right cohort side. And we have a level 2, which means we are getting 1 valor for this. And did I forget the valor last year actually? We might. I might have forgotten the valor. So I take 1 valor, but I also have to take 1 disdain. And 1 disdain is unfortunately, 2 disdain is unfortunately a total loss of 3 victory points at the end of the game. But we are not done yet. This will easily go to 4 or so. That's not unlikely, but there are ways to, again, mitigate those things. But okay, those were the fate cards. We are moving into the next round, which means we are drawing our next fate card for this round. Okay, these are 2 soldiers, 1 builder, 2 here, 2 more civilians, and 1 resource. That's the stuff we get from our fate card. It's another right cohort fate card. I hope you have seen that actually. And then we get 2 more stone or resources here, and we also get 1 more fella here because of our small hotel which we built. Right. Then we are drawing 2 more cards from our deck. Large buildings, completed wall sections. Yeah, completed wall sections is something we are working towards too. Though this, until here, this would be a completed wall section. That's 1 point. And the result is the same. So I think, yeah, we will go for the defender because that's something I already started working towards. And here we get 1 more builder and 1 more resource. Okay, that might be okay. And then, yeah, we are basically back to our little player board here, our player mat, and we'll have to continue going. Yeah, what was the plan? I think again we want to go for this one here. That's a no-brainer, really. That's a no-brainer. We will go for the performance. We have that here. Before I forget, this is now year 4, which means we are doing this. We get 1. Do you see that? No, you don't see that. Of course, I forgot it again. So I filled in this one here. Apologies for that. So it's the 4. I've spent the stone. So we get 1 piety. The piety gets us 1 more servant, and we get 1 more servant even. Okay, that's definitely helpful. So we can continue to train our folks. Cool, really cool. So let's move back here to the right. We are again on stage 5, which means we will spend 2 of our servants to train our gladiator. So they are both now at level 3. So in total that's a level 6, which is only important here for the trainer path card or so, however you are referring to them. Yes, okay, that's good. So again, we could now consider to go for a fight, and I think they don't go higher than a 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think so. I think 3 is the highest number, but it would of course kill one of those, or at least yeah, I think we want to do that, right? Do we want to start fighting now? Let's do that. So we are announcing a fight with our whatever red gladiator here, which means we are of course it's a 3. Of course it had to be a 3. Da-da-da. Isn't that amazing? So that means this guy is pretty much dead. We have lost the fight, which is this one here, which gives us at least 1 more piety. So that's something to, yeah, it's okay. That's a piety. We put it in. It's a victory point in the end. So, but yeah, we are still miles away from really doing some actual scores. But okay, that's a fate card. We could, in theory, go for the next fight here for this gladiator. But again, I want to train him 2 more times, I guess, in order to reach at least the A to score us 2 more points. I think that's a must. I think that's really a must. That was embarrassing. Really, really embarrassing. Of course. Yeah. It's a terrible game for a stream. But I enjoyed having the time of my life here. What next? And I really mean it. I really enjoyed this game, so don't get me wrong. But really, normally I would think much more when I would record this offline, for example, I would not bore you with too many of my thoughts, or if I would play this on my own, I would basically go through that. But now doing these decisions with you together, you're not really entirely helpful. But I guess that's maybe because you don't know the game. So yeah, so the one-eyed is leading the blind, it seems here. Okay, what next? We want to complete the wall section. That's the one piece which we just learned through our defender card up here. Which means we want, yeah, we need this. That's a builder, I think. Let's do that, right? But there was also something I wanted to do with some stone, right? Which was it? I mean, we could go for another performer here, and we wanted the temple. I believe there was the gardens. Exactly, it was the gardens. I wanted the gardens. So we need a level 4 on the priest track, which means we are spending one of our civilians for sure. So this gives us this here, and this gives us yet another piety. I mean, that's definitely something. So let's put it here again. That's another victory point on the piety track. And now we have enough to build the small gardens. It's level 4. We will spend one builder, one servant, and one stone. And that's really a major thing that we are getting here. So we are getting one more piety. And this piety gives us one more thing. Then we are getting a market bump, which is up here, or trader's bump. That's cool. Then we are getting a performance bump, which puts us to level 6, and we are getting a priest bump, which is this one here, which gives us basically this guy here back. The small gardens are extremely powerful to build. So I think that's in fact a no-brainer actually. You do need more production. Yeah, I think so. I think that's really a problem. You have drawn 2. Yeah, the first reaction card you have drawn 2. Yeah, amazing. I mean, you know how I'm rolling these dice, Doug. So it's pretty much the same like rolling a dice, flipping those cards, and it's the worst result possible, of course. But yeah, I agree. I think I really may need to consider going for more production. The problem is I only have 2 more years, but that's, let's say, getting 1 more production now would be 2 more stone, which I would get, and that could be, in fact, could be a huge thing in the end. So do we want to go for the medium temple next, because this is also potential victory point later on, but I also need to ensure I'm getting a little bit ahead here in respect to my cohorts, because yeah, we are drawing 4 cards now, and next round it's 6 cards. So I think we definitely do have to improve on our cohorts too. So I guess we are spending, let's do this, we are spending 1 soldier for sure, and maybe we should simply go for 2 more soldiers, right? On the other hand, we could gain yeah, we could gain, we don't have enough stone to. No, we have the stone here then. No, that's fine. I think that's fine. So we are spending the 2 military to gain 1 more civilian. That's here. And that's a discipline actually. So putting it down here. So, and now we have built as far as we can build here on this fort, because again, it's only supported by a small granary. And in order to extend here, we need the medium granary, which we could do actually. We could move on, but I think right now that's not so important. So let's do these 2 stone. We can extend the sippy, and I think now we have seen a lot of center cards was a lot. It was a lot of center cards. So let's do this cohort, right? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And now I still do agree with Doug. If we spend now 3 servants here, we could gain 1 more production, and we would gain another stone. I think let's do that. Doug, I appreciate it. Let's do that. And if I fail, it's your fault. Awesome, I like that. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Again, that's a stone or resource and a production, which is down here. Cool. And yeah, no, I think I like that. I really do like that. I think that's good progress. Now we still have an awful lot of civilians here, which we could spend. Here is nothing. Here we would gain another victory point. And for the small gardens, that's also amazing. We could simply extend here to go for the small gardens, but we also want to start doing this. I think again the medium temple is something I have to build twice, right? So let's see here. I think I have to expend basically 2 any resources to get this, because these are 2 different things. Again, the temples I have not used, so to fill 1 box, exactly, yeah. Which would be okay, actually. I mean, we don't have 2 stones, so what am I talking about? So that's a theoretical thing to do. We could continue with the wall, and again, we want the wall sections because of the defender. Yeah, let's do that. So we are spending the stone here to go in here. This gives us 1 more of those fellas. I mean, that's not nothing. Yes, I like that. And then what next? In theory, we could now spend 1 of our builders here to do this. Let's do that. We are spending 1 builder to go in here to the training ground. So we are at year 4. Again, we can only use that once per year. That's why you're putting in those numbers. This gives us a sword. The sword right now doesn't give us anything, but maybe we are preparing towards something here for the next year to come. Next year we are drawing 6 of those awful cards. Constructive criticism. Yes, Phalantalis, that's exactly the point. That was my main concern. Is this really a game which you can enjoy as a live stream? It's not even sure if it's enjoyable to watch it as my normal recording mode, but that was my main concern, really. And totally appreciate this. And I also promise you my next game will be more engaging in respect to action. I think really in this live stream I feel rather comfortable and doing these kind of things. And definitely for Halloween I'm planning something like maybe Last Night on Earth or something from Flying Frog Games. I'm pretty sure about that I will do something there. And these kind of games I believe I will then try to put onto my live streams in the near future. But yes, I do agree. I'm not really 100% sure if this is extremely fun to watch me thinking out loud here and going through the hoops. And again, it's a colorful Excel table in the end that we are trying to complete here. Absolutely, but don't get me wrong, it's a fun game. Otherwise I wouldn't have played it here on camera. So that's definitely certain. If I wouldn't enjoy the game, I wouldn't play it here for you. That much is clear. But it's an experiment. I'm still learning. You learn with me. But still appreciate you hanging out with me until this long. Really appreciate. But I think we are getting there. We still have a hell of a lot of civilians, right? Yes, we do. We could start building towards... No, we cannot. Yeah, we could start building towards the disdain here, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Because then we could gain some favors. And this would mean dice game. Yeah, we need dice game. 1 or 2 gives the best. I need that. Great, appreciate it. Hey, cool that you're hanging out here. Awesome. How was your game, Matt? I think you mentioned something on Wednesday. So 2 of those in order to build out these guys here, right? Yeah, for the bath in the future. So let's do this and let's do this. This gives us yet another soldier. And again, soldiers are always helpful when it comes down to defending here. And we could even start... yeah, we have already used that. There's nothing with a stone. We could also... we don't have the resources for a diplomat. This should have been maybe something to consider earlier, actually. Yeah, I didn't pay attention to that. On the other hand, I could also now start looking at my thing down here. We could start building those patterns, because per row we would also gain one of those, what is it, valor actually, and this would also give me the resources maybe. Yeah, we don't have the serve, but let's do that again. I want to show you touch of evil. Yeah, exactly, that's the one. I think this is the one. I mean, Dag and I, we have a lot in common in respect to game taste, and I think Flying Frog and especially Touch of Evil. Yeah, I think I hear you. I hear you there, man. I'm pretty sure this will be something like Touch of Evil. Maybe I will do a training exercise before Halloween, and then maybe at Halloween going with 2 maps in or so. Let's see about that. Cool. So yeah, maybe let's really start going towards the scout act. So I can also show you this one here. So we are spending 1 more civilian to increase the patricians down here. And now we have basically a 2-stage patrician. So let's zoom in here, which would allow me to scout. In order to do that, we need to spend 1 of those soldiers. Let's do that. That's level 2. And now we can use one of these scout thingies here. We can either use my own, or I can go for the cards. Oh, I didn't really show these to you. Actually, I didn't bring those up. Or I could use the patterns from my co-players. But then again, I would use those cards, and then this means I would have to bring out more pick cards. So let's not do that. Wednesday game night turned out great for my teaching skills, but that, yeah, that's the same here. I mean, I can't tell you how many games I do explain on game, and I like explaining those games, but typically I'm then also starting to micromanage things, at least in respect to rules, not so much in respect to strategy, but I'm typically losing badly. What did you play actually? I think I taught Fayum the other day. I think at least I wasn't last. I think I was 3rd out of 4th, but the 4th player was basically 1 point behind me, and with basically the 2 folks I taught the game to, one of those was William Attier, by the way, who's the designer of mere names. Come on, you will let me know. But yeah, he was, I think, miles away, but that's typically what happens to me too. Fortune and Glory, also a good point, Hans. That's also a good point. Yeah, I love this too. They are both one of my most thematic games out there, I guess. Fortune and Glory. Yeah, I think. Okay. Yeah, I did this, and now I can basically use this pathway here. Can you see that? No, you cannot really see that. So let me put that in here. I will use my own card from this here. And I have to go through this pattern here. The question is, do I want more stone, or do I want the resource? And I can mirror them. I can whatever, turn those around in any way I like to see fit. But I guess getting more stone might be the way to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, if I complete a row here, I would also gain a valor. And there is also one of those victory point cards which gives you basically points for completed columns, which I believe haven't seen yet. But okay, these were 2 stones for that action down here. So that's really something. That should tell you, I mean, show you how many possibilities this game has to offer, what you have to consider and have to go through. Red Rising, never played that, but I think, yeah, the IP is not, I don't know, I'm not into that, but I might enjoy that. And King of Tokyo, of course, that's amazing. King of Tokyo, I have this new version and I like this a lot. It's so beautiful, and I have taught King of Tokyo also to so many folks. Great game, still a great game. Yeah, what am I going to do with my stone now actually? Yeah, if I would have, the diplomat would be nice. And this is, I think, something I missed. You really need those diplomats relatively soon, because they come with 2 favors which you can then use to fend off entire pick cards or fate cards at the end of the round. So that's really, for the next year, something to consider for sure. And we might as well go for another folk here, or should we go for another training? Yeah, let's go for the training actually. So we are spending our last civilian to train our blue gladiator. Again, this guy is pretty much dead. He's not coming back. But we want to get to 8 strength at least in order to score 2 points. And in theory, there's nothing stronger than. So I could now really go for, let's go for a fight. let's really go for a fight. So we are drawing a next fight card. That's only a 2. That's pretty cool. So, but he's getting hurt twice, and there's nothing to heal these guys. But he's still alive. He's still with me, and completely count. Temple, yeah, temple is also temple. Did I miss something with a temple? For this, you mean? Yeah, I could still do that. I think I need the temple too. You're right, but I need a lot of stuff actually. And I believe now I'm a bit confused. I think I get the points, basically the 2 renown points from the one I was to the right. That's the one piece that's highly confusing also in the rules, is this whole gladiator piece. Turn of face card, players must record this. No, would receive more damage. Yeah, it's clear, okay. If the results in all circle spots are now being filled, Gladiator has died and gained piety. However, if there's still 1 or more circled boxes, they survive and will gain renown and potentially some resource of spoils. If they survive, they gain any renowns and resources shown in the column right to their rightmost circled box. Okay, awesome. Which means we are getting 2 renown from that. And the 2 renown is over here. And that's 2 more points. I mean, that's the idea of the game in the end. So at least I was able to show you it is possible to survive a fight. Yeah, then next we have still a builder. Maybe you want to hold on to the builder. I think there's really, for a single builder, there's not a lot we can do. With 2 stones, we could, yeah, here there's 2 stones, of course. I need the 2 stones here on this piece. 1 and 2, and this gives us yet another. So we have completed the wall section here, which is definitely helpful. It's a point, and we get 1 more thing. So I guess in this case we will go to the center cohort. So we now have 2 in each of those, and yeah, that's at least something we might be able to survive. And now we are ending there. I was really talking to a lot here actually, but I enjoy this hanging out with you. So we are getting rid of this. We are drawing our first card, and we are drawing 4, right? So that's the left one. We have 2 there, so we are good. Then it's a center one. We are good there. Another center one. We are still good there. And no! This is so bad. This is so bad. Okay. Yeah, we fended off 3 successfully. So 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is getting through. If we're checking in here, which means we're getting 2 points, 2 valor, that's not bad, but still 1 more disdain. That's not so great. So here's the disdain, and again 3 disdain, that's 5 points we are losing at the end of the game, but we are getting 2 more valor for that. 1, 2, and I'm still convinced I have forgotten to award myself at least 1 valor at some point, but we are taking the soldier into the next year. That's at least something. Then we are discarding our fate cards, and then we are moving into the penultimate year or round. We will get our resources. Ooh, that's not bad actually. 2 here, oops, 2 here, that's really not bad. 2 here, 2 here, and a stone. We are moving this over. We are getting more, right? So we get 3 more stone here from our production. Thanks for the tip. And we get 1 more guy here, and then we are drawing our 2 cards. The resource production, 3. Yeah, we have 3 actually. And the vanguard, wall guard sections. We have basically both of those, but what do we need more? I'm leaning towards this one here just because I want the resources. So we get the servant and we get the resource. Means the forager goes in here, and we have basically completed this wall section. And again, we are drawing 6 cards at the end of the round. Then let's not forget this time to reveal these 2 cards. Again, they are only important for this and that, but I think, not sure if I want to do that actually, or I will be able to make anything useful out of this. And then we are back here. Okay, let's definitely go for the diplomat now. We have to assign the diplomat to 1 cohort. That's the problem. We cannot simply get a free pass. The temple here, these are cool, these bribes, because they simply give us a freebie pretty much of what we are choosing. But in this case, we have to go for that. So We are spending 1 soldier, 1 servant, and 2 stones. Right, because we have the 1, which means we are getting those 2, and we are getting a valor. I mean, the valor is never a bad thing. Okay, valor over here. Yeah, it's still the same camera. Valor is here. That's a point. The thing is, we now have to choose one of those things. It's left or right. I'm really leaning towards the left cohort because we have really now seen a lot of cards here and maybe also a little bit here. So maybe the left cohort is the diplomat. That's what he's there for. Yeah, let's do that. And we can do that twice. We can, on the left side, we can now really fend off 2 entire cards from pits. Yeah, that's that. Now the temple. Okay, you had a point there. The medium temple, that gives us a piety, and then we could start filling those. And having the filled temples is also 2 points potentially at the end of the round. Should we now go into the next granary here? Would that help us? The wall guard. I think we are spending 1 building now, first of all, to do this here, right? Oops, 5. Yeah, we are getting 1 more sword. I really should have glued this to the table actually. And the sword goes in here, and that's 1 more discipline down here. Again, also a point. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 points from these tracks here. That's okay, but again, the target was somewhere above, whatever, 50 or so, if I remember correctly. But we still have this year and the next year, so let's see about that. What next? We could go for another performance. I think that's also a must. Yeah, let's definitely do that. So we are going for a performance in the theater. We are spending the stone. So that's year 5, right? And we are getting for this 1 discipline. That's a point, and the discipline gives us 1 more builder. Cool. This is out, and we are getting the, what is this? The apatories. Oh, that's good actually. That's pretty good, which means we are putting it here. And this gives us also 1 more discipline. Okay, that's 2 more points there. Nice. Now we can really start thinking about building a bathhouse here, because this could give us, or could remove 1 disdain for easy stones. And we can do max 2 bribes per year, so that's definitely something to consider. And that's a point here. Okay, that's tempting now. That's truly tempting. We still need the theater though. Am I on the right camera? Yes, I am. Because with a trainer, let's put that, what up here we need? Oh, strength 12. Okay, strength 12 is not possible at all right now. Because, no, maximum is 11. So that was really stupid that I didn't. No, 12 is both tracks actually. No, okay, that's not possible. So we already have basically, no, we have not reached the max. It's 7. We need 1 more. That's the 8. Okay, we need 1 more step to get to the 8. But therefore we need 8 points here in the theater track. So let's do that. So we are spending 2 of our folks. 1 and 2. So that was 1 servant. And we are getting 1 renown, which is another citizen. Or civilian, I believe. Yep. Yeah, I think that's something. That's something. So we could now continue to train this gladiator. And I think we need to do that once more. We are now at level 8, so we keep training this guy here. And now we could consider to either kill him, do him now, but we could also say, let's do that. The thing is, if he dies now, we are not getting any more piety because he's basically beyond that. So I think it doesn't really matter too much. So no, let's fight. That's a 2, so he is still alive. So in theory, we could make it. So he gets 2 more wounds, But as we have reached this level here, this would give us 2 renown actually. Oh, that's nice. 1 and 2. And the thing is, with these tracks down here, you see that little symbol here. If you reach level 15 on any of those, this will unlock those landmarks here. And so far I was never really able to do that. I was always 1 or 2 short, but in this particular session today, oh wow, come on, oh, you embarrass me, oh, thanks so much. That's a nice test. You can keep testing, folks. Oh wow, I totally appreciate that. Oh, that's great. Wow. Okay, flattered, absolutely flattered. Amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, test work. Oh boy, I'm really getting red. Yeah, now I have to continue to focus here. What next? Do we want to continue here? I mean, what's our thing here? No, we cannot finish this here. That's a problem. We need something like a block. So in theory, if we go back now, if we would go for this pathway card here, it's something that I could fill in. Then we get a row at least 1 more point. But again, this could mean 1 more card that we have to draw. But it really fits in so nicely, actually. And if we do that again, we could do that. Come on, just to show that to you. Shouldn't we? But okay, no, I think in order to go for the next scout, we need 2 more steps here, actually. But that's all. I think that's not bad. That's really not bad, actually. Let's do that. Let's do that. So 1 and 2. So we are basically investing into the patricians. 1 and 2. So that's another soldier. And this was a renown, if I recall that correctly. So renown is here, and that gives us 1 of those civilians back. This is really so rewarding, unlocking this and that, clicking this and getting this. It's really, it really is fun. It really is fun. So now we are at 4, which means we could either go for another, oh yeah, we could go for another diplomat actually. Or we could simply go for another scout trick, but I think the diplomat is the better deal right now. Let's do this actually. No. So we are spending 2 stone, 1 and 1. Again, we have level 3 here, which means we are getting 1 more valor. And oh wow, this gives us another. So basically this soldier comes back. And we are doing this here. And this diplomat goes to the right wing, basically, and this shouldn't sound political at all. It's basically the right cohort. Oh man, wow, $10, that's a lot. Thanks so much, man. Yeah, then we are there. Cool. In theory we could still do that, right? It's only one soldier. Let's do that. So we are doing this, but because we don't want to use our card, we want to use the card from our neutral player. We will place it in here, and this will tell us, hey, we will draw 1 more card at the end of this round. But okay, I will have to live with that, and hopefully I will not forget it. But it's a block of things, which means we are filling this one out like this. This gives us 1 more stone. It's also not bad. But as we have completed 1 row here, we are getting 1 valor for that. So that's also another point. So okay, we are getting there. We are getting there. And you see the game really builds up very, very nicely. Okay, what's next? Yeah, more production? I don't know. We have 1 more. We can continue to train here, but we have so many builders still. And the problem is, yeah, we have for this year already used our training grounds. What am I going to do with my builders now? Oh, that's terrible. Maybe we should go for the medium granary actually, because there are still some more points to get, right? Or should we really continue to focusing here? What do you think? What do you think? The market, I believe, might be a lost cause actually. It gives us some points here. The small precinct is still good. I mean, it's not bad. This is, I think, what I forgot, Doug, maybe for you. Here you also get some resources actually with a small precinct. So maybe let's try to do this. But then again, what am I going to do with these two folks here? I mean, we have a lot of builders now. And I could use the builders actually down here. Let's do that. Come on, let's extend the granary. So we are spending 1 servant, 1 builder, 1 stone. This will unlock the medium granary here, and then we can now continue building here. I'm pretty sure we will not be able to do a lot more in respect to some of those cards up there, but I will take it. Oh, I will take my chances here. And then we still have 1 more here. Oh, that's tempting actually. Let's do that. So we are spending 1 more soldier to build another cohort. And as I do have diplomats left and right, let's definitely, I think, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's definitely put it into the center cohort, and the center cohort gives us 1 more discipline right now. So again, these are some points which we need. And then we still have 1 more guy here left, and there are still the bath, which is something I have to take care of sooner or later. I definitely want to go in one to this bathhouse for sure. We could, I think, oh yeah, we have used the scout here. I've nearly forgot that. We could, yeah, let's do that. Let's build another patrician now. This gives us 1 more stone, which we could use next year, maybe in the last year to come. But it also allows us to scout once more next round, for example. Let's see what cards we get. Of course, I should know what cards I get, but yeah, you know, I tend to forget. And then, I guess we want to spend 1 of these builders to extend our fort. This gives us 1 more of those guys. And now we could continue with the wall. Yeah, let's do that. Let's build the wall up here. This gives us 1 more renown. The renown is down here. Cool. That's another point. That's another point. That's another point. I take it. And now I again have another civilian with me, which I could use here mainly on the right hand side. Maybe to unlock this. And if we are extremely lucky, we're drawing a 1. Our gladiator could survive there, because we will only do 1 more thing, right? 1 more performance next year, which is okay. I think that's not too bad. Yeah, which one? I think here's another point on the priest. Let's go for this. So we will do this. This is another piety, which gives us 1 more piety here, and again, that's another point. And I guess now we are calling it around. So we are drawing 1 more card here. I will keep this here. Keep in mind, we are drawing 6 cards now. We are covered here. Can you see that? Yes, you can. We are here. 2 more here. That's fine. 4 more to go. Oh, come on. Okay. We are canceling this card with 1 of our bribes here on the diplomat track, because it has to come from the left hand side. This card has been dealt with pretty much. Again, we are drawing 4 more now. I really shuffled the heck out of these cards, so let's do that again. So we have basically used all our favors, not bribe, the favors here in this case. 3 more cards, right? Okay, we are covered here. We are covered here. These are 6. Now 1 final card, and that's another right. We are fully covered. Okay, that was pretty damn good. So we have 7 cards. We have basically fended them off all because we used a lot of our favors now. But that means we are getting 3 valor from that, because we were able to get rid of all of those. I think that's pretty helpful. 1, 2, and 3. That's 3 points and another soldier for the next round. But keep in mind, the last round we will draw 8 of those cards, so that will be pretty brutal, but yeah, we will have to live with that. So the fighter goes, no, this was the red fighter. This is out. We are going into the final round. So this is the fate card. We are drawing this. Oh, 3 builders. Yeah, we can exchange those builders. That's fine. Yeah, that's really bad. That's not a good thing actually for this year to come. But okay, let's move this over. Uffe, surprisingly a good roll right game. It really is. No, it really is fun. And I appreciate that you are hanging out with me that long. Again, I have no clue what it is fun, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream that I'm also not too much into roll and write or flip and write or whatever you want to call them, other than cartographer, which I do enjoy for what it is. But this is really a very thinky game, and it looks nice, and the components are nice, and it's really fun to walk your way through here. We are getting 3 more resources from our track, right, and 1 more civilian. I really regret now. I think we don't need the builders. This is something I really should have done here actually. Getting those early would give you basically victory point each round. That's definitely something. Okay, last year to come. I'm really tempted to fight once more with the Gladiator this round. Not sure if I need another diplomat just yet. I don't know. Mind me drawing 6 cards. Do I get another cohort out there? I do doubt it. We have seen a lot of left cards now. The thing is, we have used all our favors now. But I was going for the baths, right? To get rid of at least 1 disdain. But that's an awful lot. I mean, yeah, that's a point there. That's 3 stones which we would spend for that. That's really a lot. Maybe let's go for the Gladiator first, right? Let's do something crazy again. Something I think I didn't show to you yet. So we are going for the forum, which we can visit once per year, as you can see that. So we are basically going here in year 6. We are spending 2 of our builders to exchange that into anything. And I guess we are going for another civilian, right? Let's go for a civilian. I didn't really think it through, but I think we don't need that many builders. I think that's the critical information. And yeah, this was that. Then oh wait, we are not done yet. Of course, I still have to see my cards, right? We have the merchant. Oh, that's nice actually. Collected goods. We don't have any goods, I believe. Oh, is it goods? Oh, I think these are the trade goods. No, we can basically go for this, but I think I want this resource here, right? So another of this and another of this. So in this case, I would have chosen a servant instead. So this one goes in here, and here completed scout columns. Yeah, this is the scout columns one. That's the one, but I think I will not be able to do that. These cards have to come out earlier actually. So this is a scout. Oh, we could go for 1 actually. No, 2. We could complete 2 scout columns for that, and that's unfortunately only, yeah, we need 3 in order to score 2 points. But okay. I nearly forgot that, but still we could do this now, or we could go in here. This would give us a valor and 1, and this give us an additional stone, so we can scout. Let's do that. Let's scout once more for soldier. Down here we have 5 on the patrician track, which means we can fill it out. We will use our own now, and I think the idea was to go for this act. Yeah, right. So that's a servant and a stone. A servant and a stone, which we might later on use. And again, this helps us later on with the, and yeah, I filled this out. So this will help us with this card up here, the ranger. That's 1 point. I take it. Then we have now, okay, now we do have some stone. Can we go to the large gardens now? So we have the builder, we have this, and we have this, but we need 1 more step here on the priest track, which we can get. So we are going first to the priests, going for this, and this gives us, oh, what was this? I think it was the purple, a servant. I nearly forgot. So we are getting another servant. Then we are going to the large gardens, which we can do because we have the 7 here. Duck. What is the track to the right of the Gladiatores? Yeah, okay, I think that's the, you put in the years. Every time you see these hash thingies, you put in the year number. I think that's the one piece I missed. You put in, because you have to make sure that each gladiator can only fight once per year, basically. And I should have put it in here, but that I don't forget that I have fought in here. So for this year, I will have to remember that. Good question. I totally missed that. Yeah, you are amazing. You are able to find that. Now we are going for the large gardens. So again, we are here. So we are getting 1 piety. That's cool. That's this one here. Then we are getting 1 traders movement. That's this one here. This gives us 1 builder. Then we are going to the performers track, which gives us yet another builder, and we have maxed out on the performers track. That was the idea. No, this was a builder, right? Yeah, that was another builder. Then we are getting on the temple track, and the temple track gives us 1 more piety, and the piety gives us 1 more of those servants. Then we are going for those apparitores. Exactly, this gives us another builder. Oof, we have a lot of builders now. And last but not least, we are going here to the patricians, which is this, and this gives us 1 more renown. So that was a pretty strong, really, these gardens, they are extremely strong. Yeah, I like that. I really like that a lot. Does it help to go on with the priests now? I think the idea, we have now maxed out here. So we are spending 1 of our servants to do this. So in theory we could now, there's nothing to lose on this track right now. So we are going for a fight, and now again this is the blue gladiator. So we put in year 6 that I have fought, and that basically tells you that I have fought the blue gladiator. If we are now getting a 1, everything is cool. No, it's a 2. So he's dying. If he is dying, we would gain the, what is it, piety, but there is, on this level there is no one really mourns his loss. He should have done stuff, but he's not able. If I would have won, I would have gained stone and 2 more of those, but this gladiator is pretty much dead and gone too. But again, there was no real loss to that. That's totally fine. This was pretty much like rolling a die. That's perfect. Yeah, those gardens are amazing, Doug. I agree, they are. The temples, I could go, I mean, yeah, for the temples I still have those builders. Yeah, let's do that. This and 2 stone. So that's basically, we have built this, which is another piety. Again, that's another victory point. All of those are. And now we can basically go in here, and in theory we get to choose. I mean, we are here, we can go for any of those. We can spend those resources like crazy and simply go for those. We have reached level 6. We don't have to start from the top here. For example, we can go for any of those. So if we're spending 2 of those, we could simply gain a favor. The thing is, will we be able to get at least 1 more bribe, or don't we care about the bribe? That's the idea. Right now we are losing 5 points because of our disdain. And we could move down. I mean, that's a 2-point swing. If we are ticking out 1, if we're ticking out 2, that's 4 points we would gain back. But going for this one here, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more meeples, and then we would have filled this temple, which would help us with the pontiff here, which would also give us 2 more victory points, or 1 more point actually. And that's 3 points actually. Let's start slow. We are doing this and this for now. So that's 1 here and 1 here. That's another piety. And we gain 1 more favor. And again, those favors in the temple are the favors we can basically use on any of those cohorts. Pretty much dodging a bullet. Okay, these were those 2. do I want to spend 4 more? With 1 more, 2 more, I would gain 1 servant back. So I'm inclined to do that actually. So let's do that. So we are spending 2 more of those guys. Yeah. To fill out, I don't know, doesn't matter too much. We will go for this and this. This gives us yet another. Can we see that? Oh, this is totally a mess. I really moved this board around a lot actually. This gives us 1 more piety, and this basically gives us 1 of those dudes back. And then yeah, we could now decide to also fill in those 2. This would give us 1 more, and then we get a point for this temple because we have filled the temple. And somehow I'm tempted to do that right now. Let's do that. That's an easy one, right? So we are spending another, or should we, just to show this to you, should we just go for the baths here? We need, we don't have the 2 guys anymore. The 2 servants, unless, yeah, I could gain a servant here actually. Let's, just to show this to you. Again, just to show this to you. So we are spending 1 of our guys here. This gives us the last, I don't know, priest track here. This gives us the servant we need. Then we are spending 2 servants, 1 builder, and 2 stones to build the bath. This gives us 1 more renown, and the renown is yet another civilian. Cool. We're really coming to the end. It's soon over. Oh, why does it cost 2? Why does it? Not sure what you mean. What costs 2? But let me know. But you figured it out, so pretty sure. Not a big deal. I think, yeah, I have not done this right. Oh no, I haven't done this. Sorry. Oh yeah, no, I wanted to show you the other one. That was the idea. So now we are pribing. We can pribe basically twice a year. In theory, we could go for. No, I think we have to go for the cheaper ones here. That's the cheapest one. So we get a pribe. Sorry, in year 6. We will pay this one here. This gives us the thumb up, and thumb up is something we can use in here, so we can fill in 1 of those circles, which means we have dealt with 1 disdain. Yes, that's what it is. And again, I forgot to reveal the 2 remaining cards from the red player in case I want to scout again. Let's think about that actually, if that makes any sense. This is the card that we have available, and if I use the scout action here, I could in fact score another point. Or if I use this one here from the neutral player, I think I can even score more points. Let's do that. Let's go crazy. We will, I think we have to, for scout we need 7 in order to scout again. So we have to spend 1 civilian to scout again, and we also have to spend the soldier. The soldier now goes again onto this card here, onto the defender of the red player. Yeah, you should be able to see that. And then we are filling out the L shape here. It doesn't give us any resources, but we have completed another row, which means we gain 1 more valor, but we also have managed to fill out 3 columns in total, and the 3 columns are then from the ranger 2 points. Well, at least that was, I think it was worth it. And then I don't know, we have 1 more dude left, but we are drawing 1 more card now. That could be really penalizing. Fingers crossed. Yeah, with this guy, yeah, we will go to the apparitores. This gives us simply 1 more discipline down here. Okay, that's another builder for this. Oh, we can use the builder actually on the train. Let's do that. I mean, yeah, let's do that here. We are spending the builder in year 6. Again, once per year you can use that track. This gives us 1 sword, and the sword goes in here. Problem is, doesn't give us anything, but yeah, it looks much cleaner that way. And that's pretty much the end of the normal game. We will go through the final attacks, of course. So this card is discarded. This one will be triggered. We are drawing now 9 cards in total. And problem is, we really didn't do a lot of progress in respect to our cohorts, but at least we have gained 1 more favor from the temple, and we still have 2 more favors on the right hand side. But I could imagine we are seeing some more hits. No, we need to go back to the cards. Okay, first card, that's the left one, we are fine. That's the right one, we are fine. Left one, we are still fine. Then another left one, we are not so fine anymore. So we have to use our favor here from the temple. That's this one, so which means we are basically dodging this card here. With the last scout action, did you need patrician at level 7? Yes, I did, but I have spent, yeah, that's a good point. Thanks, Doug, but I have spent the civilian for that. So in theory, oh, I should have even 1 more soldier from that. Not sure if I got that or not, but good, definitely well caught. But I'm okay. I spent that yellow thing for the patricians. Definitely. Nice catch. So we have 4, we need 5 more to go, right? So that's the right hand side, we are okay. Center side, we are okay. These are 4, 6, 3 more cards. Still okay. Still okay. 8, last card to draw. This needs to go to the right. No, it's in the middle. I think the middle, no. We have to, yeah. We take 1 hit. We definitely take 1 more hit. We only have 3. We cannot use the favors here anymore because these are for the right cohort. So we have to take a hit. That's okay. But we have fended off 3 successfully, or basically we are subtracting the unsuccessful one from this number here, which means we are getting 1 more disdain, unfortunately. So the bribe didn't do us any real good. Otherwise, okay, we would have jumped from 5 to 7 points. No, I think that was still worth it. But we are getting 3 more valor for that. 1, 2, 3, and that's basically the end of the game. Now we are doing the final scoring here, and now I will really suck. So let's see, we have 12 points here. I need the small pen now. Here we have 12 points. I think we are not doing so bad actually. Here it's 14 points, and here we have measly 9 points. That's cool. Now we have to check the path cards. So let's zoom out. We will start here with the Pontiff. The Pontiff, yeah, maybe I should have gone for this. So we have basically completed or filled 1 of those temples here. So that's another point. I don't know. I will have to mark it down. So that's 1 point. Then the trainer, we have 2 points because we have reached level 8 with our gladiators. So that's 2 more points. So in total, that's 3 points from the path card so far. Then we have the aristocrat. Final disdain is 3 actually. So it's, yeah, pretty much between 2 and 3. So it's 1 point. Yeah, it's 1 point. So we have 4 points with these path cards. Then we are doing the defender. That's clear. We only have completed 1 wall section. That's another point. So we are at 5. You're really not scoring a hell of a lot of cards, points with these cards. Completed wall guard sections. That's pretty much. Oh, 2 more. I forgot that. That's okay. It's what it is. But it's only 1 more point. And I think this one is pretty helpful actually. Let's bring it down here. That's this one here. So we have 3 columns, and that's 2 more points. So that's 8 points in total coming from these path cards. We have 3 basically not complete or filled out disdain, which is then minus 5 points. And now, okay, 13, 22, 26, 28, 30, right? Then 4, 5, 6, 60 points in total if my arithmetic didn't fail me here. And 60 points, wow, I'm pretty happy with that actually. Wow, that's the just enough for the Prefectus Castrorum. Unless again I didn't fail anything here from oh no, I didn't. No, -5. It's 52. No, it's 52. I did not. Pity. I was too quick. So 55, what is it then? It's Primus Pilus. It's basically middle ground, but that's pretty solid. I think I said 50 points would be my target for today. I think I have reached that target, so I'm a pretty happy camper. And yeah, that's pretty much how you are playing Hadrian's Wall with the solo mode. Again, there's nothing too different with the solo mode other than those 2 neutral cards that come out here on the left hand side. At least I was able to show these to you and was able to use those. I did not go through the small precinct here. I did not go through the market thing, so that's another strategy which you can follow through or think through. So again, this game has to offer you an awful lot of different things, and again, really enjoyable thing. Again, I'm not 100% sure if it was really that fun to watch, so I'm pretty proud of you hanging out with me that long. Really appreciate it. And yeah, maybe really quick, let me jump to my patrons list here. Again, really do appreciate all your support out there. Without you, a lot of these things wouldn't be possible actually. But it's not just patrons, it's everyone who is watching, liking and subscribing. Really helping a lot, leaving a comment and definitely joining me here for these live streams. And I do promise that my next playthrough will be something a little bit more thematic, less arithmetic or mathematics, or you want to put. And wow, Doc, oh come on, thanks so much, really appreciate that. Oh man, you embarrassed me here. And thanks Hans, really awesome for joining me here on my live stream. Really do appreciate that. And yeah, with that being said, wish you all an awesome rest of your weekend. I think for my American friends or South American friends, there is still a lot of daylight ahead of you, so definitely use it well. I have to see what the elections are doing here in Germany. We have a major thing going on here today, so let's see how this turned out. And yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And yeah, thanks Uffe also for you chiming in and being here with me. Really do appreciate the loss. And then again, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and until then, bye bye.